Hey guys, what's going on? Curvemurder15 here with a new episode of Convlog. I was actually debating on whether doing an episode this week or next week, because I had another video that I was wanting to release today, but it's a two-parter video, and I don't have part 2 done yet, but I'll get into that more later in this episode of Convlog. So you get a new episode of Convlog, and just in time, considering that I'm actually starting back to state this coming Monday for the fall semester, so I decided I've got the weekend off right now. I don't have to work today or tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and get an episode done. Fill you in on a few things, because there is a bit to go over today, so let's go ahead and get right into it with some Game Bros news. So we're doing a few shorter games right now as far as trying to get the month of September finished up. And then we're going into our Halloween episodes, which I'm still not going to tell you yet. I tell you what, middle of September, I'll let you guys in on it, okay? Because we might be done with it by then, who knows. And then after that, like I've said, we're going to be doing Super Mario RPG. And I have actually already started working on plans for 2018. I've got a couple of cool surprises for you guys. I've actually got a list of games that we're planning on doing for next year. I've gotten some suggestions from the cast. I've gotten some suggestions from some of the fans that watch the show. All together, I think, like, so far we have about, I'd say between 10 to 12 games already picked out for next year. So it's going to be really fun. I like to plan ahead, so just the fact that it's already this far ahead planned, I'm excited about it. Just a few little fun things here and there, too, to throw at you guys for the new year, so I can't wait to show it to you guys whenever 2018 gets here. So that about does it for Game Bros news. Con news. I made a short video on this, I think last week or week before last, but I want to go ahead and address it here again in case some of you guys may have missed it. So I finally got to sit down with the cast for Whose Line, and after a little while of talking, and I hate saying this once again, unfortunately, Whose Line as an anime will not be coming to 2017 Tsubasa-Con. Now, like I said in the video that I made, before you guys fret, don't worry, we haven't disbanded or anything like that. We're all still good friends and everything. Literally, there were just a lot of complications that got in the way. A couple of the cast members aren't going to be able to make it this year. Brian and Bree got married this year, so that took up a lot of time for not being able to plan. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining or anything, because them getting married is more important than a panel at Tsubasa-Con, in my opinion. So that took priority over us getting stuff ready for Whose Line. But like I said, don't worry, this is just a we're just taking a year off this year. We will be back for 2018, and we're going to make it bigger, better. We've literally already started planning for 2018. That shows you, like, how sorry we are for not being able to do it this year. But as far as some of the cast, we're still going to be hanging around the con and stuff. I'm still going to be attending Tsubasa-Con. Also, along with not doing a Whose Line panel, we're also not going to be doing a Game Bros panel like we did last year. Time just kind of slipped out of my hands, and I wasn't able to get a panel application in for it. And getting it in this late in the game, you know, I don't want to chance it to get all these plans and then it not getting accepted or something like that. But just, it hasn't been really a rough year. It's just been really busy and just hectic. So a lot of things that I've kind of wanted to do this year just kind of slipped through the cracks, but I don't regret any of it or anything like that, because sometimes you need a break. So now something that's cool that might be happening, this has not been confirmed yet, so don't quote me on this. The Sabres group I'm a part of, the Imperial Legion, is actually talking about doing something for Tsubasa-Con, like a showcase or a display or something like, or choreography thing, something like that nature, and I will be assisting with that. So if you're interested in seeing some cool lightsaber combat, check that out. Like I said, nothing has been set in stone yet. This is just kind of in the works right now, but when I start to get more details on that and everything starts to get in like fine print in stone, I will make sure to let you guys know when that's going to be. Yeah, that's about it for con news. Is like, I'm going to, well, a couple of cons I'm going to besides Tsubasa-Con. I'm going to Power Up, which is September. Of course, Subasicon in October, Mountain State Pop Expo in November, and that's probably going to be it for me for 2017 for cons. And of course, I'll start planning for next year sometime. But anyway, so going into some channel news. Once again, for July, I didn't release a top 10 countdown. Whoops. I've just been kind of lazy with it, to be 100% honest. I'm not even going to lie. I have one that I still need to finish writing the script to. But in place of that, and this goes back to what I said near the beginning of this episode, Shy Guy 357 and I actually sat down and did an unscripted top. It's a kind of a double top 10, because what we did is we picked our top 5 worst and best characters from Injustice 2. And we both had our own separate lists. We sat down and did our top 5 worst back-to-back, and then we did our top 5 back-to-back. So the part 1 is going to be the worst, part 2 is going to be the best, and I have part 1 done. I just have to finish editing part 2, and actually I'll be releasing those videos next weekend. So next Saturday and Sunday, make sure to check out for those. Now, as far as the countdowns, I at least want to try to get a minimum of maybe 2 done for the rest of the year for 2017. I'm not going to promise anything. That's just what I would like to get out as a minimum, just because I know I've been kind of lacking there. And like I said, I kind of set it up to where I wanted to do once a month for a countdown video, but at the same time, I didn't like lock myself in on that. I didn't set myself up for a schedule saying like, oh, if I, you know, miss it or something, I'm going to beat myself up over it. And I'm just like, nah, if it just doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So, but yeah, that's what's been going on with the channel as far as some of the videos. Nothing else I can really think of to talk about other than the fact, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to be starting back to state this coming Monday. So, videos still should be on schedule as far as Game Bros episodes. As far as episodes for that, we're still doing some smaller games, like I said, and up until October for our Halloween special. But, yeah, so guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here, and probably rest the rest of the day, probably take a nap, because I went to Sabres last night, and I missed last week because of work, but I understand work's got to come first, real life's got to come first. So I'm probably going to take a nap, so I'm going to hop off here. So this is Crowmurder15, signing off.